and the world was made by him. And the world knew him not. He came unto his own, and his own received him not.
For behold, darkness hath begun, and the darkness hangs over the people. But the Lord arises upon you, and his glory shall be seen on you. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Arise, nations will run to the radiant glow of your light. Our kings will awake to the light of your dawning. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord, and the glory of the Lord, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you.
The noise and the bustle began earlier than usual in the village. As night gave way to dawn, people were already on the streets. Vendors were positioning themselves on the corners, the most heavily traveled avenues. Store owners were unlocking the doors to their shops. Children were awakened by the excited barking of the street dogs and the complaints of donkeys pulling carts. One's imagination is kindled thinking about the conversation of the innkeeper and his family at the breakfast table. Did anyone mention the arrival of the young couple the night before? Did anyone ask about their welfare? Did anyone comment on the pregnancy of the girl on the donkey? Who had time to talk about them when there was so much excitement in the air? Augustus did the economy of Bethlehem a favor when he decreed that a census should be taken. Who could remember when there was such commerce and it had hit the village like that? No, it was doubtful that anyone mentioned the couple's arrival or wondered about the condition of the girl. They were too busy. The day was upon them. The day's bread had to be made. The morning's chores had to be done. There was too much to do to imagine that the impossible had just occurred. God had entered the world as a baby.
City of David.
This isn't the way I planned it, God. Not at all. My child being born in a manger? This isn't where I thought it would be. A cave with sheep and donkeys, hay and straw. My wife giving birth with only the stars to hear her pain. When you sent the angel that spoke of the son being born, this isn't what I thought it would be. I envisioned Jerusalem, the temple, the priests and the people gathered to watch. A pageant perhaps, a parade. I mean, this is the Messiah. Any minute now, Mary will give birth not to an infant, but to God. That's what the angel said. That's what Mary believes in God. My God. That's what I want to believe. But you must understand, this all seems so bizarre. I know it's foolish of me to question you. Forgive my struggling. Trust doesn't come easy to me, God. But you never said it would be easy, did you? A little home, a gentle wife, a place in the community. All I want, all I need, all I ever hoped to be was just a simple man living quietly, not making history. But God is wise, and He had planned another plan. So here I stand, a carpenter, holding deity in my hand. I will love Him and direct Him, help Him grow in wisdom, help Him to stand. I will polish and correct Him, teach Him what it means to be a man. I will love Him and direct Him, help Him grow in wisdom, help Him to stand. I will pray for Him, protect Him, teach Him what it means to be a man.
God, oh infant God, heaven's fairest child, sleep well. Enjoy the silence of the crib, for the noise of confusion rumbles in your future. Savor the sweet safety of my arms, for a day is soon coming when I cannot protect you. Sleep deeply, tiny hands, for though you belong to a king, you will touch no satin, own no gold. You will grasp no pen, guide no brush. No, your tiny hands are reserved for works more precious. To touch a leper's wound, to wipe a widow's weary tear. Sleep deeply, tiny eyes. Sleep while you can, for soon the blurriness will clear, and you will see the mess that we have made of your world. Lay still, tiny mouth, from which eternity will speak, tiny tongue that will soon summon the dead. that will silence our foolishness. And tiny feet cupped in the palm of my hand, rest. For many difficult steps lie ahead for you. Do you feel the cold seawater upon which you will walk? Do you wrench at the invasion of the nail you will bear? Do you fear the steep descent down the spiral staircase into Satan's domain? Rest. Rest today so that tomorrow you might walk with the power. For millions will follow your footsteps.
She waited in a
There is one word that describes the night he came: ordinary. An ordinary night with an ordinary sky. An occasional gust stirred the leaves and chilled the air. The stars were diamonds sparkling on black velvet. Fleets of clouds floated in front of the moon. The sheep were ordinary, some fat, some scrawny, some with barrel bellies, some with twig legs, common animals. No fleece made of gold, no history makers, no blue ribbon winners. They were simply sheep, lumpy, bumpy, sleeping silhouettes on a hillside. And the shepherds, peasants they were, probably wearing all the clothes they owned, smelling like sheep and looking just as woolly. They were nameless and simple. An ordinary night with ordinary sheep and ordinary shepherds. But God dances amidst the common. And that night he did a waltz. The black sky exploded with brightness. Trees that had been shadows jumped into clarity. Sheep that had been silent became a chorus of curiosity. One minute the shepherds were dead asleep. The next they were rubbing their eyes and staring into the face of an alien. The night was ordinary no more.
It's the sound of an offering. When it hits the ground, it is bound to make nature sing. Glory to the King of Kings. Can you hear the flight of celestial
Blessed are the meek, Jesus explained. Blessed are the available. Blessed are the conduits, the tunnels, the tools. That's why the announcement went first to the shepherds. They didn't ask God if he was sure he knew what he was doing. Had the angel gone to the theologians, they would have first consulted their commentaries. Had he gone to the elite, they would have looked around to see if anyone was watching. Had he gone to the successful, they would have first looked at their calendars. So he went to the shepherds, men who didn't have a reputation to protect, or an axe to grind, or a ladder to climb. Men who didn't know enough to tell God that angels don't sing to sheep, and that messiahs aren't found wrapped in rags and sleeping in a feeding trough. So while the theologians were sleeping, and the elite were dreaming, and the successful were snoring, the meek were kneeling. They were kneeling before the one only the meek will see. They were kneeling in front of Jesus.
Eternal light, but the watchful eyes of humble
Now in Jerusalem there was a man named Simeon. He was an upright and devout man. Let's imagine a white-headed, wizened fellow working his way down the streets of Jerusalem. People in the market call his name and he waves, but he doesn't stop. Neighbors greet him and he returns the greeting, but he doesn't pause. Friends chat on the corner and he smiles, but he doesn't stop. He has a place to be and he hasn't time to lose. Simeon's one incredible moment occurs 8 days after the birth of Jesus. Joseph and Mary have brought their son to the temple. It's the day of sacrifice, the day of circumcision, the day of dedication. But for Simeon, it would be a day of celebration. He was a man on tiptoe, wide-eyed and watching for the one who will come to save Israel. He was waiting with anticipation, calmly expectant, eyes open and arms extended, searching the crowd for the right face and hoping the face appears today. In the end, the prayer of Simeon was answered. Simeon took the baby in his arms and thanked God. Now, Lord, you can let me, your servant, die in peace, as you said. One look into the face of Jesus, and Simeon knew the hope of his life had been fulfilled. One look into the face of our Savior, and we will know the same.
Waiting, longing, hoping for the day I could look upon Messiah's face, going in my spirit, that before my life was done, I'd behold the promise, Emmanuel, God's Son. At last I see him with my eyes, I touch him with my hands, I marvel in the presence of the great I am. Now my soul can be at rest, I reach up with joy to bless him, and I smile. I receive him, at last I see him, this holy child. Loving, thanking, praising God on high, I rejoice to hold salvation's light. I touch him with my hands. I marvel in the presence of the great I am. Now my soul can be at rest. I reach out with joy to bless him, and I smile. I receive him. At last I see him. This holy child. Come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. This holy child. This holy child.
Suppose you could give a gift to Christ. What would it be? How could you possibly select a gift for the one who not only has everything, but who made everything? In addition to the gold, frankincense, and myrrh, the wise men gave the Savior some gifts that we can give him today. They gave Jesus their hope. When everyone else saw a night sky, this small band of men saw the light. The sight of the stars sparked a desire in their hearts that sent them packing. They went seeking Jesus. The wise men also gave their time. It's likely that these men traveled as long as 2 years before locating the Prince of Peace. Before that one incredible moment when they knelt before Jesus, the wise men spent many moments, months, perhaps years, searching in anticipation of that meeting.
And the word
When the wise men did find the Christ child, they fell down and gave him the gift of worship. In worship, we simply stand before God with a prepared and willing heart and let God do his work. And he does. He wipes away the tears. He mops away the perspiration. He softens our furrowed brows. He touches our cheeks. He changes our faces as we worship. The wise men sought and found the child of God. They gave him the gifts of hope, time, and worship. 3 gifts the wise still give.
Can anything separate us from the love Christ has for us? God answered our question before we asked it. So we'd see his answer, he lit the sky with a star. So we'd hear it, he filled the night with a choir. And so we'd believe it, he did what no man had ever dreamed. He became flesh and dwelt among us. He placed his hand on the shoulder of humanity and said, "You're something special." What an incredible moment.